Reluctant Entrepreneur Tarot. I'm Diane Ideas, Master Certified Coach, and this video takes you behind the scenes for Reluctant Entrepreneur Tarot's initial card, which is Entrepreneur. So this card, the Entrepreneur card, does not have a number on it. And the reason being is that it is associated with the Fool card in Tarot. And the idea is that the major arcana, or the first set of cards in the tarot deck, are actually the Fool's journey. You can think about this as the hero's journey. And so there's no number on the Fool, or in this case, the Entrepreneur card. But the idea is that these are the concepts that the Fool, or in this case, the Entrepreneur, meets along the way. And as we know in life, life is not necessarily ordered like a tarot deck. But at the same time, these are concepts related to the entrepreneurial journey or related to the reluctant entrepreneur journey. And then this is a preview of the deck, which covers the Fool and the Fool's journey of the major arcana. So essentially the first 22 cards of the tarot deck map to entrepreneurial concepts. So as we think about the entrepreneur card, the Fool is often shown as stepping off a cliff. And so here you have actually an athlete contemplating a rocky path. There's cacti, there's a structure, but it looks like the structure has crumbled. It looks like she has a faith-based necklace, but it's the idea that it's kind of off into the water. And water is associated with intuition and tarot, and you also see the clouds through her skin. So the idea perhaps that she's contemplating. So this entrepreneur, while associated with the Fool and the idea of stepping off a cliff, is also more contemplative and looking at the risks and looking at the path and perhaps deciding, is this path the best for her, which I think is associated with the reluctant entrepreneur kind of flavor of the deck. That it's maybe doesn't necessarily have the full-on faith and confidence that's associated with the Fool, that kind of recklessness. But at the same time, some of that is really that level of trust and faith and risk is needed to take that leap on the entrepreneur life. So the quote associated with this card is just start. Don't worry that you don't have all the answers yet. And for the reluctant entrepreneur, this can be a very hard thing. And potentially for some, they may not get beyond looking at the path and actually walking down it to get to the point to walking off the cliff. So this is the Fool, and it's traditional, kind of off the cliff with limited resources. Some say the dog is barking at the heels. It's kind of the warning of society. You can also look at the dog as a companion to kind of go with. And Rachel Pollack talks about the Fool can often symbolize beginnings, courageously leaping off into some new phase of life, particularly when that leap is taken first from some deep feeling rather than careful planning. So there may be a little bit more planning associated in this kind of reluctant entrepreneur style deck, but at the same time, there's still that kind of entrepreneurial risk and the off the cliff in order to make something happen and take the chance. So questions to consider if you draw the entrepreneur card or you're thinking about the kind of entrepreneurial journey is, what do you need to be successful on your entrepreneurial journey? What's the best possible outcome? How can you be strategic and proactive in the face of others' doubts? Though truthfully, this may also be in the face of your own doubts. And what happens if you fail? You know, as you look at those thorns and you look at those rocks and off the cliff, what's that worst case scenario? If you'd like to listen more, we have the title episode of season 4 of Cross Street Coaching, which is focused on the reluctant entrepreneur. And the song associated with this card is by Eric Church, Hell of a View. And what he talks about is, you know, ticket out of here, wings on fire, chasing what's in our hearts, no good at standing still, good at rolling dice, living reckless. So a lot of those kind of off the cliff, that movement, that drive forward. And then the chorus, this ain't for everybody, toes hanging off the ledge, like we've got nothing to lose. Ain't always heaven, baby, this living on the edge. You holding me, you holding you. It's a hell of a view. And so the hell of a view, and then also just the risk tolerance needed to take a chance, and also it not being for everyone, it being an adventure, but not being for everyone, and sometimes feeling reckless and not worth the risk. to me felt like the perfect song for the entrepreneurial card and the association with the movement and the risk and the jumping off the cliff of the fool. So if you'd like to learn more, there's videos, descriptions, questions to consider. The podcast is linked. And then also you're welcome to either buy the deck or schedule a coaching session or a video related to using the deck. So thanks so much for your support. Learn more at reluctantentrepreneur.com, and we look forward to following up.